Daniel Brooks never imagined that the worst phone call of his career would come after the most successful 6 months of it. At 45, Daniel had built a reputation that stretched far beyond California's wine country. To vineyard owners, he wasn't simply a winemaker. He was the man people hired when ancient vineyards began to fail or when rare grape varieties needed to be preserved. His consulting business had taken him from France to Argentina, from South Africa to Italy, where he had spent the past 6 months overseeing the restoration of a centuries-old vineyard owned by one of Europe's oldest wine families. By the time his flight landed in California, all Daniel wanted was silence, a warm meal, and an evening walking through the rows of vines his grandfather had planted decades earlier. Those vines were more than a business, they were family history. Every row told a story. Every harvest reminded him why he had refused countless offers from developers who wanted to replace the vineyard with luxury homes. As Daniel drove down the narrow country road toward his property, something immediately felt wrong. Normally, the hills shimmered with endless green rows stretching toward the horizon. Today, there was only brown dirt. His truck slowed to a crawl. His heartbeat quickened. The closer he got, the harder it became to believe what he was seeing. The vineyard was gone. Not damaged, not neglected, gone. Thousands of mature grapevines had been ripped from the earth. The irrigation network lay scattered across the ground like broken veins. Ancient olive trees, some over 100 years old, had been reduced to splintered stumps. Fresh bulldozer tracks cut through what had once been one of the state's most carefully maintained private vineyards. Daniel parked without turning off the engine. For nearly 3 minutes, he simply stared. His mind refused to accept what his eyes were telling him. Then he noticed something even stranger. Bright orange survey stakes surrounded several empty fields. A temporary construction fence stood near the entrance. A sign attached to it read, "Landscape Improvement Project, authorized by Oak Ridge Homeowners Association." Daniel read the sign twice, then a third time. His property had never been part of the HOA, not even close. He stepped out of the truck and walked slowly toward the destroyed vines. The silence was overwhelming. Usually the vineyard buzzed with birds, insects, and workers tending the fields. Now there was nothing except wind carrying loose dust across the empty land. One crushed grape cluster remained beneath a bulldozer track. Daniel picked it up. The fruit had never been harvested. It had simply been destroyed. His phone rang. It was his longtime vineyard manager, Carlos. "I've been trying to reach you for weeks," Carlos said before Daniel could speak. "I was in Italy," Daniel answered quietly. "I know. What happened?" Carlos took a long breath. "The HOA president happened.